do it 1,000 times. He goes, oh, these are just swastikas. And then he puts it on. You don't even know.
Hey, everybody, welcome to the Baby Shower Comedy Podcast.
Hey, welcome, everybody.
Hey, everybody, welcome to the Baby Shower Comedy Podcast. How's everybody
doing? Here we are on a Saturday, right?
What Hardy and I were debating about was the use of notes on stage when you're doing stand-up, which probably none of our listeners understand what that even means.
Yeah, they're not going to give a shit,
because they're not. Hopefully, they're not comedians. If you are a comedian and listening to my podcast, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
Nothing. There's secrets to be gained.
There's nothing to be gleaned.
Yeah, which reminds me of another topic.
No, you're not. No, we appreciate the people stand-ups that listen to our podcast. I'm such a hypocrite. I think I spent like a while the other day talking about how Chappelle brought up his thing on when he did that 8:30 something. He brought up a note, and I was like, look, it doesn't matter. No rule really matters, right? So it doesn't really matter. But I just like, I don't know. Like sometimes I'm like, I mean, we're only doing, seven, we're doing like 6-7 minutes, like
we're doing 10 minutes.
No, on this one, it wasn't that. That was just fart around, just go down in flames.
See, here's another difference, though, is that your act is one of improvisation, right? You can just as easily pass. Your act can pass. You not knowing what's next is part of your act. So you've trained yourself.
Yes, that's true.
To be able to,
that's true.
Function without knowing what's ahead.
That's true. I don't know. It's a professional. I really go back and forth with this. I really do. I guess I don't care. I guess at the end of the day, it's kind of a silly thing. It's kind of like, how well are you doing? And then all else just doesn't matter. If you pulled out your fucking notebook on a late night set and you destroyed, no one's gonna fucking care. They're gonna go, oh, I guess you need.
And let me remind you that a lot of people haven't been doing stand up for people are still doing their first sets back after COVID.
Yeah.
There's a contingent of comics that have yet to do a set,
and then there's also a contingent that seemingly are doing more sets than ever, dude.
Right.
Which is another fucking wild thing to see.
Yeah. So bringing up a notebook, I brought up a notebook on my show on Tuesday, and I was hosting. I had it up there because I didn't know I was doing new stuff.
With
that show, a lot of the people have been to baby shower shows before, so I have to do new stuff.
Yeah,
and I can't go up there and just fart around about how I'm tall every time. You know? So I brought up a notebook.
Yeah, and you don't want to not get through the material you want to get through.
Yeah,
like you do it a mic.
And I'm not that good at crowd work, so I'm not going to sit there and be like, "So are you guys dating?" And they're like, "Yeah," and I'm like, "Oh, cool," and then move on. Before we start the podcast,
move on.
Baby Shower Comedy Show every Tuesday, 7:00 and 9:00, New York City.
Great show. It had a great Tuesday show. I think it
has the potential.
Yeah.
To be one of the great shows in New York City.
It's on its way.
That vibe in there, it's guaranteed. A very cool spot, right?
Guaranteed. You sent a bunch of comics. You can just tell with comics, you sent a bunch of comics home happy, which means like good solid room, fair, good hang area. People getting material out, kind of getting reads on stuff, getting to say hello to people. Wasn't overwhelming where you're like, it's too many people here,
Right.
There's all huge positives. The people that work there were extremely kind.
Yeah. We'll see we'll see what happens in the long run. That was their first they know first impression, so we'll see if they're pissed off in 3 weeks. Like,
and the double
comedy
the double is the coolest thing ever. The back-to-back.
The 7 and the 9.
I think
somehow, if it works, it's going to be the coolest thing I've ever done in my life. I was telling Peter Wong, if I can pull off a 9 o'clock, a 7 o'clock, 9 o'clock show
without question,
back to back on a Tuesday, I don't need to get past the comedy clubs.
No, without question. You're your own comedy club, and you're doing it in New York, and you have major comics popping through. That's gangster time.
Yeah.
Back
it's
to back, dude. You should play the Drake track back to back before the second show. In like the intermission, and that shit would rip. Dude.
I love after a show saying, if everyone could please clear your checks and we have another show.
That's such a sweet announcement.
We have another show starting at 9, so take your time, but we kind of have to turn the room around.
Woo!
Wouldn't that be sweet?
Come on, that's one of the sweetest announcements of all time, bro. That's when even some people go, do you have tickets for the second show off the first show?
And then the second, the second show, you're kind of loose now. It's already happened. And you're like, and the cool thing would be to eventually book like 1 or 2 back to back.
Yeah, dude.
That would be.
Do
you want the 7 and 9?
Are you kidding me? That would be. You don't have to
Where
go.
You're just hanging. Yeah, dude. You're just hanging, smoking cigarettes outside.
Come on. You don't have to go anywhere, dude. Yeah. You do all night. You just hang, bop 2 setters. Oh, right in the
2
fucking
different audiences,
NYC.
Same stage.
Dude,
a different 10 minutes each show. You did 20 minutes.
Dude, that's the dream for me. Yeah. I don't want to go run around. Let me get 2 in at the same spot.
Just crush seltzer waters.
Down
dude. At the hang lounge.
And fucking hang. Dude, you got to get, this is what you got to do though. If this go down, you got to get a little merch that has the 7 and 9. You know, like call it the back-to-back, 7 and 9. That'll get people fired up.
Where I have the lineup, where I do I have a run of shirts. Everyone in the audience gets the shirt.
That would be sick.
And on the back is the line. I mean, that's a lot of money.
Well, what if you just did back?
I'm losing money. They pay $10 for the show, and it cost me $20 per shirt. I've also thought about this. The only reason I want to charge them $10 is so they show up. They don't just blow it off.
No, you have to charge.
I'm thinking about doing a show.
I'm telling you, dude.
Where I charge $10.
Yes.
And I give them the $10 back when they show up. Because all I want from the $10 is them to actually show up.
That's kind of a gangster
move.
Where
if they show up, boom, here's your, what is it called? Rebate. Boom.
Oh, I've never even heard. Dude, try this out. Try this out. Do a rebate. That's killer, dude. People would be like, "Oh, thanks. Oh, I love that idea."
It's really only maybe I give them $5. I give them half their money back.
Yeah,
boom, it's really only $5.
No, you gotta have them pay. And have you noticed this? I've been going out doing shows. I've been getting. I don't know if this is like a thing. Knock on wood. More shows are giving some amount of stuff. Like this is smart. This is smart. It ups the level of the show. Like it's just a good business move. But I think if you don't put the lineups on the shirt, bro. Just put back to back.
I just have to throw away I have a bunch of like shitty shirts that like
thousands of lineups that is shifting the entire time. What are you going to do in real time? You're going to print the lineup?
They're like, this isn't tonight's lineup. I'm like, I'm still trying to get the stock from 3 weeks ago out.
Yeah, dude, there's no way I can get the lineups on these fucking shirts.
The lineup from 3 years ago.
But if you get the it says Baby Shower Comedy Tuesday night back to back 7 and 9. That's a killer shirt.
Yeah.
People will rock that out and be like, yeah, they do 2 shows at the fucking whatever place.
Yeah.
You get 2 options.
It's going to be interesting to see if we can fucking even pull this off, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, what do you, but. I
did tell you that one woman, my buddy overheard one woman at the show on Tuesday, so I can't believe we got tickets. It's sold out. It was yeah.
Dude, none of my buddy, I'll tell you right now, I got peeps in the village. I got peeps in the city. They're coming through. You do 7 and 9s, bro. They're coming through. They're going to start. Everyone's going to get let outside. Okay? They're coming through, bro.
The funny, some woman came up to me after the show and it was a 4-top.
Yeah.
It was like a double date. And she's like, hey, so you're doing here every Tuesday? I'm like, yeah, we're going to do 7 o'clock and 9 o'clock show. I'm like, this, and she was like, the same like people? I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Different lineup. She's like, what about from like tonight? Like, are the same people? And I go, if you come here
Yeah.
Every Tuesday,
Yeah.
7 o'clock and 9 o'clock for a full month.
Yeah.
You won't see any of the same comics.
That's so great. And she was like,
she was like, oh, cool. Like,
yeah,
and I was like,
dude, I saw your next 2 lineups and I was like, Jesus fuck.
The 7 o'clock this next
Christ.
the 7 o'clock this next show is ridiculous. It's pretty much all seller. It's like,
no, but like that slaps, man. Like people are gonna.
It's Daniel Simonson,
Come
Jordan
on.
Jensen, Usama Siddiqui,
Oh
Renan
my
Hirschberg.
God,
Those are 4 seller comics.
Yeah,
Pedro Gonzalez, who's been on late night TVs
yes.
at the Stand, and then Stuart Fullerton.
He's a killer. And Stuart, dude, Simonson and Usama though on the same show is just like crazy to me.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
sure
gonna
that's
be
happened
wild.
a bunch, but like those are 2 comics that can tear the roof off of a joint. So, but dude, just to have that level.
I mean, and then the next show, Hannah Dickinson, Eagle Wit.
Dude, Eagle Wit.
It's like
dude,
going to be wild.
I'm coming. Like these are fucking straight balling ass lineups.
One of the comics on the 9 o'clock show is like, hey, like, can I come watch the 7 o'clock show? Like, it's like a ridiculous lineup. I'm like,
that's what I'm saying, dude.
So, like, because of COVID,
yeah.
I go, if there's an empty table, I could try to get you in, but like, we can't have.
Yeah. Dude, I'm just like the lineups, and you don't have to. It's not that, as we were talking about this. It's not that many people in there.
Yeah,
which is another huge piece. Like,
which also is also like
know?
I was talking to my girlfriend about. I was like, I hope I can sell it, and then it dawned on me. I'm like, the great thing about COVID, is that if you had 6 people in there, even then you could almost pretend and be like,
oh yeah,
you can almost be like,
it'd be fine.
Sold out. We can only have 6 people down here because of restrictions.
Right.
And they in their head, they're like, oh, cool. So this is you know.
Yeah, and then you got some people that are working there. You got some comics. You could easily fill that in.
Yeah.
You can easily. Yeah. That's what's so great. That's what's so great about it. Dude, there's not that many places and options right now to go see. I don't care who you are. I really like the clubs. Clubs are great, but when you have a good bar show that's picking up that level of performer, like, I mean, it's unique in the sense that like, it's nice to see a guy work out there. You want to see a guy like DeVito do fucking 10, 15 at that fucking. That's a fun thing to watch. He's getting shit. He's working shit. You know, like that's.
Well, that's my hope
cool.
is that when you have like we had DeVito, Sarah Tolmash, some pretty heavy hitters.
Yeah, Maddie Smith.
You hope that they go back and they're like I did this fucking sick show, and now
that's right.
When I reach out to some bigger names, they're like, yeah, I'll do your show. I heard it was great.
And where are you located? Yeah. Like really, really good distance from a lot of clubs.
From all your clubs, yeah.
It's the Brooklyn shit where they're like, I don't know that I want to run out there.
Right. Yeah,
you're
100%.
right fucking there to go to McDougal, man. Like I would again, like, and you already have like with the name behind the thing. Yeah. I think the back-to-back though is the real piece that's like the kind of selling point. Because if you have one show, that's cool, but like why am I going over there?
Yeah.
It's kind of quick. I might miss it. If you have a double, it means I know no matter when I head over there on Tuesday night, I might get something to eat with a comic.
Yeah.
I might catch some of a show. I might walk nearby. Or I might see some good comic. Like there's more of a window now.
Yeah.
Instead of it, being this kind of like isolated,
You have a killer on the first show and they're, and you're like, by the way.
Right.
If you want, there's a 9 o'clock too. If you want, to swing
exactly.
by. They're like, what?
I'm doing it. They're fucking doing it, dude. So sold out. So next to,
and I did appreciate that. I feel like a lot of the comics are a lot chiller and willing to hang out. A lot of the bigger comics because post COVID, like I feel like everyone was kind of hanging out. It wasn't like, this person's too big to talk to this person. I feel like everyone was just hanging out.
Well, that's curated. I think because you do this thing where you call them the backpackers. But if you keep that, that clear, if you keep it clear of like turning it in, if it's just like a green room,
right?
That's like professionally curated. Like there's places to sit. It's not overrun. That lets bigger acts, in my opinion, they go, okay, I'm not like standing around.
Not going to get bombarded by like
bingo.
Fucking, yeah.
I'll sit down and talk to fucking, I know this person. I feel like I'm at one of the club. Like I know a bunch. Then they'll fucking kick it for a second.
Yeah, yeah.
But if it's overrun, then it's like, I'm fucking getting out of here.
Yeah.
You know?
Which leads me to my next topic.
Yeah, baby.
That
topic
really, what's his name? Did I already tell you about this? But what the fuck is his name?
I wouldn't know. You'd have to say what the topic is first. Did I tell you about this topic I'm about to tell you about?
Do I have COVID? What was that?
Yeah, you got it.
No, I've had the shot. You've got the shot too, right?
I got the first one.
Right. Which one? Pfizer?
Yeah.
Moderna?
No, I'm a Pfizer. I'm doing the double.
Yeah, I'm Pfizer too.
By the way, the chick that gave me the shot, she was really good looking.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you get her number?
I almost did.
How many numbers do you think she gets a day by putting shots in all these horny guys?
That's what I
that haven't
was
seen
worried
a
about.
girl in forever.
Yeah, that's what I was worried about. I was like, do I really want to do this right now? She did go, do you have any questions for me? And I was like, am I going to be like, yeah, like, what are you up to?
Is this
later?
a porn set right now?
Like, what do you want?
Am I about to hook up with a nurse?
But I felt like she was digging me.
I'm sure she was.
A little bit.
I'm sure she was.
Like,
I'm sure in the 10 seconds that you guys met, you really threw some good moves on her.
Yeah.
I had her at put it in my left arm. When I said put it in my left arm, she was like, this guy.
She kept being like, yeah, like, what's your dominant arm? I was like,
I swing both ways.
Yeah, my right arm. I'm righty. My right arm.
You got rather than my cheek and you threw down your pants.
And then she was like, yeah, I was like, put in my... No, and then she was like, so we'll put it in your left arm. And I was like, my left arm. She goes, that's your off arm, right? And I was like, yeah, that's my off arm.
Sorry, I was just distracted by your beauty.
Yeah. Dude, she was fit. She was in shape. I don't know. Don't you feel something? I always notice this, and you got to get back. I got to get better at this because I kind of let it go. There's a moment where you can kind of, in the flow of your daily activity, ask someone for their number.
Yeah.
And if it goes past that, you sort of lose it forever.
Here's the time when you do that. Is immediately when you think about it, you need to do it in that exact instant.
And that's
what
Any delay.
That's
right. That's right.
Messes up your head.
That's right.
And makes it, when it comes out, the longer you
wait,
it
makes it so weird.
The more muddled it will be when it comes out of your mouth.
So what's your
once again,
number?
I know nothing about. I've forgotten all about. I had a girlfriend for 2 years now.
No, but you're spot on. That's what I was sort of regretful about. When I was sitting there after, because you have to sit there.
Yeah.
Which is
and
so.
They know what
by
you're
the
thinking
way,
about.
that's so weird.
An
when
attractive
you sit there.
woman knows what you're thinking about.
That's right. And I think she was testing me a little bit. And I let it go. And if I just been like, hey, yeah, what are you up to later? Do you want to get a coffee? It would have been fine. It would have been golden. So I made a mental note. I go, Matt, we got to step it up a little bit. You know, we got to stop this like, oh, I'm thinking about it. But like, well, you know, I'm not going to ask. There's no reason. That's how you really get into a good group.
I almost think, you know, sometimes when you're walking down the street,
yeah,
and you see an attractive woman and they're passing you, and you both kind of like,
right?
There's a hey,
yeah,
an inaudible hey going on
absolutely.
with your. I almost think you could probably turn around, jog up to her, and be like, hey. This is going to sound really weird, but I would love to ask you out. I know we didn't say anything, but I feel like what's the worst that could happen?
I think that would be absolutely
and I
fine.
think they'd give you your number.
Absolutely. I think that's absolutely fine. You may find a couple people that are like, oh no, but like, thanks.
I mean, when you got a Michigan jacket on, they're going to give you a number.
My Michigan flight jacket,
with your Tommy Bahama on.
Yeah, dude, this is my just fuck off, New York. Do you know what I mean?
What are you doing tonight? What is this for?
This is for nothing. This is just because I want to be in a good mood.
Yeah.
I realize this excessive black thing in New York, it's not. It just wears on you. till you're like, okay, I'm just like sad. I'm down. Everyone's in black. No, I'm brightening it up.
Yeah.
I'm cheering it up.
What I was gonna say, I'm now regretting on bringing this back to what I was about to say.
No,
I was gonna bring it. You were talking about the backpackers that hang at shows. So our good friend, our common good friend, Taylor Yarish. Taylor Yarish, very funny.
Yeah.
He posted on Facebook a spreadsheet. Did I told you about this?
Yeah, that was hilarious.
He posts on Facebook a spreadsheet of all the comedy shows that are going on in New York.
Yeah, like a research. Right, I haven't seen that though. I haven't been in that forum.
And I saw him at the mic.
A while.
I saw him at the mic.
Oh, really?
On
Which
Friday,
one?
Joey Bats, Friday, 4:00.
Wow, you went to a mic yesterday? This guy working.
I went to a mic Thursday. I went to Comedians on the Loose Thursday. They give 7 minutes now. Comedians on the Loose.
You went to Comedians on the Loose on Thursday?
Yeah, it was last minute.
Whoa, bro. Yo, you out here fucking working.
You have to. I got to come up with a new, 5-6 minutes every Tuesday.
Yeah, I'm going to go back to some mics next week.
But Yarish put it up. I mean, this is meaningless to the listeners probably, but he put up, and I told him, I was like, "What are you doing?"
Well,
he's like, "What do you mean?" And I'm like,
"Oh, you said this."
I called him out. I was like,
"What do you say?"
I'm like, I got fucking 20 comics, 20 backpackers hitting me up one day, asking for spots, and now I have to be an asshole to 20 comics because I'm not going to put them on. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And he's like, "Oh, I was just putting it up to," and I was like, "I know that you were well intentioned with your post, and I know also that 99% of comics, that's a great post.
Yeah,
but for the 1% of comics that produce shows, they're pissed because now I got everyone and their mother hitting me up to do my show, and also I don't want people coming to hang out at the show.
Yeah." Yeah, well, you're unique.
One person, 2 people hanging out at the show is cool.
Yeah.
But it's like overkill. It's like, what are you doing?
What did he say?
He realized, like, as I was describing it, part of him was like, "Fuck off, Miller." I think a decent part of him was like, "You can go fuck yourself."
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
But then I think part of him realized where I was coming from. And it was half and half. I was like, it doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. Yeah. I'm half joking, half serious. And Yarish it doesn't matter.
Does a lot of, does he call clubs?
No, I don't think he might be at Stand Up New York.
Okay.
He's probably at Stand Up New York.
He might
be at New York Comedy. I don't know.
If you're maybe it's because like sometimes that like you're like you because like people at the club's like, "Oh, what are the bar shows that are going on?" You know?
Yeah.
And then they're like, "Oh,
go on Instagram, you'll find it." I'm sure you follow 1,000 comedians and they're posting at what shows they're at. You can easily figure out what show's going on.
This was Bats Friday?
Bats Friday.
Yarish
was there. Wow. Jack Finnegan was there. Choya was there. Ilya was there.
Jesus.
And then a bunch of fucking backpackers.
Jesus.
Mahoney was there.
Oh, yeah. I see Mahoney's
out there.
Yeah, heavy.
But yeah, dude. Which leads me to my next topic.
Yeah, so then you got 1,000. Yeah.
Which leads me to my next. This is less so, but there was a podcast where we were workshopping one of my like ideas about souvenirs.
Oh yeah.
And we workshopped it for like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So I compiled all like the best lines from that 15 minutes, and I came up with like a 5-minute long chunk about souvenirs.
Yeah.
And so I did it at Comedians on the Loose.
Oh yeah.
And it did great. I thought it did well.
Yes.
For the room, it did well. And I was all pumped.
It did, yeah. And then you took
and even Luciano gave me £1, and it was a delayed. There's a difference between coming off.
Luciano is at Comedians on the Loose?
Yeah, everyone. Ali Mahedi, Rich Apple.
Wow.
Dan Polzello. So who's the cool comic with the leather jacket? We all know his name. Long hair. He hooks up with a lot of chicks.
What?
He's super funny. Gary Goldman's his favorite comedian, I think.
What? Leather
He's
jacket,
attractive,
long
younger.
Hair. I don't know who you're saying.
Not long, like this.
Leather jacket. Why did you say he's always wearing a leather jacket?
Not always, but he's the type of guy that would wear a leather jacket.
What? Give me a.
He's really funny.
Damn, there's I don't know who that is. Leather jacket. That really doesn't sound. Is he new?
No. He's a Cellar 77 guy with us.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
Kind of a little more edgy, but like nice, super nice.
Edgy? Is he white?
He looks edgy, but he's not edgy. Yes, he's white.
He's white.
Yeah.
Is he tall?
Dude.
I can't put this together. Y'all, is anyone friends with him?
We're all friends with him, but
what?
we're not like hitting him up to hang, I don't think.
Okay. Not Land, because
no, Land's black. This is gonna be the worst 20 minutes of the podcast because we're not moving on. This is gonna be the worst.
You mean Christian?
Christian
the
Conti?
Guy, yeah, the guy that's
no,
okay.
It's not Christian Conti
because he's really funny.
He might sell drugs.
Sell drugs?
He might. I don't know. Not illegal drugs, just coffee.
Was he ever
he sells
Climate?
Coffee. Yeah, Climate all the time.
Whoa! No way!
Elliot Thompson.
Does
that make sense or no? What I was describing?
Yes.
Kind of edgy. He looks edgy,
the problem
but he's not.
was I needed a little more like I was picturing
leather jacket is Elliot Thompson, no?
Yeah, he has a rustic sort of woodsman to him too.
All right, maybe that would have.
No.
Anyways, he was there too.
You're on it.
I went and did my five. I did my five and.
Souvenirs are funny, though.
The thing about the souvenir is that going on and on about it is ridiculous, you know?
Yeah.
So I went on and on about it, and I forgot like half of it, right?
Right.
So I went back to the notebook.
Yeah.
And Sonia looks at me. She goes, just do more souvenir stuff. Because everyone was already laughing about how long I had been going. So I was going back. And she goes, do more souvenir stuff. And I'm like, and I look at her, I go, of course I'm doing more souvenir stuff. Why do you think? I was going to the notebook as a funny, like, oh, he's going to be doing different stuff now. But then I was going to go back into the souvenir.
Yeah.
And then everyone laughed at that, me like describing how that was part of my plan.
That's great. So this is a good set.
But I thought it was a good set. I get off, and I get a delayed pound from Luciano, which I think is a good sign where, like, you know, a lot of people, you're walking back to your seat after your set, and they'll give you a pound, like, hey, good set.
Yeah.
A delayed pound is like, hey, that was a good set. Versus the immediate pound is like, hey, I feel like I got to pound them.
That's right. The immediate pound could be a lie.
Right. But the delayed pound is like, all right.
It's especially good if like a second beat passes and then someone comes over to you and is like, hey, I said to tell you I loved your set.
Yeah.
That's the best. That's like the really best one where like someone has to wait a couple. Yeah.
They digest it. But so then I go. So then
I can't believe all these names.
So then I go to Bats.
I thought Lucia.
So then I go to Bats, do the same set, bombed. Like zero laughs. Zero laughs. So now I'm 50-50 and I'm starting to question. I'm like, what the hell?
No.
What's the accurate read? Bats at 4 o'clock raining.
Bats is insane.
Yeah, Bats sucks.
I think you could just keep plowing through that and see what's what. Yeah. You know? Like,
well, I did the full 5 minutes. I did 4 minutes of souvenir.
I mean, like going forward, you know? That's just standard fare. Yeah. That's just Mike's standard fare. The amount of shit, like I feel
Troy was like giggling, but I think because he saw that I was struggling. I think he started giggling because he's like, Miller's doing this ridiculous thing continuously going on souvenirs, and he's failing at it. Yeah. Which is funny.
Yes. And
did you not bring coffee?
No. I had some.
All right.
I got up and went for a jog.
Wow. Wowee.
Dude. Yeah. Wow. This is interesting, hearing all this.
Everyone's doing mics.
Jesus, I'm fucking over here at the tiny cupboard looking for. I'm like, what the hell? I thought the tea.
Well, people
cupboard,
are even going over to every.
I thought this was the spot.
Listen to this. Apparently, Choi today is doing the comedy mob mic.
Yeah, he told me. Upper West Side, and then he's going to the cupboard.
But he's got a show. Apparently, he's got a show at the Stand Up New York tonight too.
Yeah. Classic.
He's getting booked, huh?
Classic New York night. Yeah, you know.
I need to do the comedy equivalent of slashing his tires. I don't know what that is, but we need to slow down Choi, or else he's gonna stop being friends with us.
How do you slow down a Choi? That's a good question.
I think slowing him down strengthens him.
Yeah.
The more you try to thwart his plans, the better the comic will be.
Yeah, you have to do something else. You gotta
you have to build him up.
Yeah,
you have to tell him
up with
every time you
energy.
tell him how funny he is, the less funny he gets.
That's the key. That's the true key. You know?
Should we call him up again? Oh, we didn't. Did you listen back or no?
No, did you?
No.
We got to do that.
We got to listen back to see if we
because Choi
can
was
hear
laughing. That was funny.
What was he saying?
That it was
he
just.
Thought it was kind of funny.
Yeah, but it was so funny because we were talking about how there's no way he wants to be called, and then he goes,
right.
I don't want to be on this. So if you can hear it, I think that'll be really fun.
Right.
You know, we could still figure.
It's
out.
Like this
too.
Isn't good.
No. He was immediately like, you should have listened to your instincts. When I called him after,
we're like, "What are you doing?" He goes.
Yeah.
I'm doing my day. I don't know.
Yeah, he goes, I got to go back to my day.
Yeah.
But that's funny.
Yes.
What I love is on some of these pods, these guys, like, they call their buddies, and their buddies are like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And then they go, I don't know. Like, what do you think of this new track? Right? And then the guy's like, all right, I'm going to go. And I love when podcasts do this.
Yeah.
I want them to call.
The cold call is great.
It's fun because, like, it makes you feel like you're catching up with people.
We should start getting like,
you know?
we need to have a list of people that we like routine callers.
Down, because I would.
We're like they're almost like we call like the first time we call them, they're going to be taken aback a little bit. They're, but if now at like
that's right,
twice, 3 times, they're ready.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying.
And I think if we have a list,
yeah,
listeners will be like, dude, you got to start calling this person more.
Yeah, I think it'll be great. I think
get back to calling Samaha. You got to call Samaha more. He's gold.
Right? And get like update. Like, it'd be funny if we called like Schwartz.
Yeah.
Get like an update on the comedy scene.
Right.
From his point of view,
right.
You know? Like, that would just be funny. It's like we're running a newscast.
Exactly.
You know, you're checking in with people. Hey, all right, let's go out to our correspondent, get a little word on the street. You know, you micing? What's going on out? You call like people that are like doing
We
mics.
should almost get like some like big name, you know.
Yeah.
Like DeVito.
Oh, that
would
like
be... next time I see DeVito, I'm like, I might call you. We're doing this thing where we call people randomly on the podcast. So if you get a call from me.
Would he do that?
He might.
Miller, you gotta try that with someone of that level, because that would be such a funny range to have. Like, you call a guy.
I call TJ Miller. I got TJ's number.
Dude, you got a guy that's like open micing, and we call him, and we're like, "What's the mic like?" You know, and he's like, "Dude, there's like 7 people here. It's a disaster." And that's fun. And we're like, "How's your set?" And he's like, I did terrible.
We called DeVito, like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "Well, I got the cellar." And we're like, "Well, can we come?" He's like, "No, you can't come."
And then we followed up calling DeVito. And he's like, "Why are you?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm doing the cellar at like 9. Yeah. And we're like, "Wow, that's pretty good."
Wow.
Our other buddy just did the cellar 77.
Is there any room for us?
Yeah. You know, like to have that range of people. It's like we're checking in all across the city with comics. I think it's a very...
You call an LA comic?
Yeah, and be like, "Hey, man, what's going on out there?"
What's going on in LA?
He's like, "Bro, first of all, it's like 3 hours earlier, so like no one's doing any mics." And we're like, "Yeah, all right, we'll call you back."
Yeah.
You know? That would be killer, man. We just got to get a list of people that would actually fucking are like ready, be like, "Hey, we may give you like T. Luch."
We need
I feel
people
like
that
Luch
would be good. Luch would slaughter the call. He'd be really good.
Luch, Happel, Toleli.
We need
Choi.
We need some like kind of wacky people too.
Yeah.
Where it's like they're a little off, and we're like catching them kind of like who like. I'm trying to think of something that who's like a little off their route, like Mike Kramer.
Oh, that's great. A guy, yeah.
Kramer
we'd have
just
to get
starts
a hold
yelling.
Of him. Yeah.
It's like, oh, you fucking call me, you piece of fuck, and he just starts yelling.
That's really funny.
Like a Mike Kramer.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Oh, Calcagno. Maybe we could get Calcagno would destroy us.
I feel like
he'd be like, you got to stop.
Yeah, I feel like Rubenstein would be good.
Oh yeah,
because
these guys.
I feel like he's done radio before. Like I feel like he would be good. He would know the lay of the land. We need to get Mike Francesa on here.
Dude, we got to get
Can
a
we
list.
Get a hold of Mike Francesa, the Mike
what
the
about
Mad Dog.
What about our non-comic buddies too?
Yeah.
That's funny too.
Well, if
like,
they're ready.
Even if they're not, bro. Like if we call my buddy Rich right now and he's like, yeah, I'm like taking the dog for a walk, like like, and be like, all right, man, like what else you got going on? He's like, I mean, I don't know, man. Like, why am I on? And then we're all right, Rich, we'll talk to you later. That's funny.
The key is that you need someone that forgets that they're on a podcast.
Yeah, when you call,
which is a lot quick. The switch from a comedian is a lot quicker than a civilian. A civilian might be censored for a long time, be like, and like be like, I need to say something versus just being themselves. You know. That's
right, but I do feel like there's a couple buddies that would just kind of be fine.
Yeah,
I could call.
Who's the guy?
Nix.
We need to get Nix on.
I'll text him, and we could be like, dude, I may give you a call on the pod. You know. And then I think that's a great segment, man. Just calling different peeps.
Yeah.
You know? Or like clearing stuff up where we're like having a debate and we're like, all right, let's bring in a third party.
Yeah. No, I think that's great.
All right, good. Good. It's locked in.
It's locked in, baby. Oh. Did you just fart? Jesus. Show spreadsheets, souvenirs, baby shower. What do you got, man?
Fart.
Gross.
Yeah, I'm. What do I got? I got. I
can't believe you did that bit.
I gotta give it some more space, but it's coming.
You need to slowly get into it.
Yes.
I think the lead-in needs to be just as almost very slow. We're like,
and I have to be in a spot where they're like almost, hanging on a thread, right? So that when I start, doing that.
You need to do it for long, and then you go into the
Yeah. It's facts. Especially if they're like, they got to be really like if they're like, if I got them, then I think I can really do that. The issue the other day was it was like a little up and down, so I was like kind of trying to get them with the joke, which is not a good place for that joke. Right? It's better if they're like, oh, we get he's an idiot, like, okay, and then I start doing the I really kind of debate.
Yeah.
You know.
So I went to when you have an ailment, do you go to a general doctor or do you go straight to the specialist?
I don't even have health insurance.
All right, what else do I got? So
right? Yeah, that's good.
I've had this like weak knee. My right knee has been like feeling weak where like when I have it straight, it feels like it could just snap the other way. Like it's been...
That's not good.
No, it's not good. So I was like, what do I do? So I was like, I could go to a general doctor or I could just go to an orthopedist.
Oh, I got a few topics. Let's pin them.
All right.
Nice. Continue.
Do you want to write it down so you don't forget?
Yeah.
So I go to this orthopedic surgeon.
Yeah.
I just get an appointment with him. And
okay.
For my weak
Let's back
knee.
this up because I actually do know some things about this because I had a problem last year, like a health scare.
Uh-huh.
And I did actually, like, I was like, I went to the general person first.
Yeah.
And then they sent me to
They always send you to someone.
To a urologist.
The general doctor is useless.
Yeah, it's a complete disaster.
It's a sham.
Yeah. The general doctor doesn't do anything. He just points you. He's like the info guy at Grand Central.
Yeah, like people, like the doctor, the specialist will be like, "Who's your general practitioner?" I'm like, "I don't have a general doctor. I go to a series of specialists."
Yeah.
Why would I go to a general doctor that's just going to send me your way? That's a waste of a. So I go to the specialist.
Wait, so you didn't go to the general?
No. I went straight to the order.
You bypassed them.
I looked up.
That's such a gangster move to go to just be like, I'm done. I'm done with this middleman.
I can look up on Zocdoc. The general doctor is an old, archaic position of medicine. I can look up. Are people doing that? Are people doing this move? I don't know.
That's such a you move. Skipping the general.
I've analyzed the hundreds of times I've been to the doctor and the failure of the general practitioner.
And then you show up at the direct guy and you go, "Listen, I knew what the general guy was going to say. All right."
Well, he looks at me. He goes, "Who's your general doctor? Who's your general practitioner?" And I go, "I don't have one." He goes, "So why'd you come to me?" And I go, "I looked up online.
It's my knee
pain. I looked up online. I searched on Google. I said, what type of doctor for knee pain?"
Oh, my God.
And it said orthopedist.
Yeah.
So I just went to the orthopedist. It's not rocket scientist.
This is a really funny move. I wonder if many people do this, and the general practitioners are going, "Where are these people?" You know, and they're like, "All right, look, I got a rash. I'm going to infectious disease.
Yes.
I'll go right to that guy." You know?
I don't see why anyone would do anything else.
Did he get pissed at all? Was he like, "Hey, listen, man, because this is how you're fucking with their business."
Most people need referrals.
They'll go, "Hey, man, you got to go see a GP before you see me." You know.
Well, the guy's happy to have business. No.
So he's going
right. I think the only person that pisses the GP, who's useless.
Yeah, but sometimes they have like little arrangements.
Well, you need
little 1-2 punch.
Exactly.
So you're fucking that up. You're going.
No, I think here's the key, and I didn't.
You have the key.
I didn't specifically outright ask him about this, but I wanted to ask him, "Hey, if someone like me just shows up,
yeah,
and you're like, this guy should have gotten a referral to come to me,
yeah,
does now the specialist just choose his buddy for the referral?
Oh, like
and say, hey, Tobin Miller came in today. He didn't have a referral, but he needs one. I'm gonna call up. I'm gonna call up Dr.
Byzantine,
and be like, hey,
Leslie.
I'm throwing you another referral because this guy just came in out of the blue.
Yeah. Leslie.
Perfect.
Byzantine.
I get a referral. We all win.
Leslie Byzantine.
Yeah, Leslie Byzantine. I'm gonna throw you another referral because the guy just came in with no referral.
Do you think that's what? So
I think it might happen.
Do you have to get a referral?
I think in order for your insurance to cover. So here's the thing. My insurance, I could come back with insurance and they slap me in the dick with a big bill because they're like, you weren't ready for that type of care yet. That's possible. I don't know what's going to happen. My plan could be completely washed out.
Skipping the middle. This is it's very funny because
I go straight to the Silk Road for the morphine.
Yes.
I just show up to the hospital and say, I need this operated on. No.
Well, you are just kind of like going, I think, I'm trying to think of a good analogy. You are kind of going, I'm pretty sure this is who I need to see. You're not positive though.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what's a good middleman.
Because some of this stuff, like I was thinking maybe a librarian came to mind. I don't know if that's right. But like sometimes people like going to a library. Hey, what do you got? I'm looking for this and that. And they can point you in the right direction. But you don't actually need to go to the librarian. You could just go right to the book. The section of the store.
Yeah.
you know? So that kind of, but I feel like a general practitioner does more than that.
Yeah, I think the general practitioner usually is the first line of defense of wussies. There's a number of wussies, me of which is one of them, right? And I'll get around to that. It kind of leads into the story nicely, but
wussies.
The wussies, because there's a line of people who think that they're sick and they're not. And the general practitioner...
So you think he's wussy police?
I think he's wussy. I think you go to the general practitioner, he's like, there's nothing wrong.
Go home.
Go home.
Yeah, that's good. Wussy police is right, because there's a lot of people that come in with a headache. They're like, I need to see a neurologist. And you're like, no, you don't.
You don't need to get a CAT scan, bro.
Yeah, no.
Drink some water.
You're dehydrated.
Yeah.
The wussy police.
Yeah.
No, but I had something else. Oh, that's right. But sometimes you might have knee pain, and the GP might go, hey, that's not knee. That's because of your back. You need to see a chiropractor. And that's where they steer you. This is where you get it. But also the
specialist will also be able to tell that because he knows the knee. He can just as likely make that assessment.
You think so? Then you turn a specialist into a GP. That's what right. Because he goes, listen, man, I'm not a GP. You know, I know with
95% confidence that this specialist will be able to diagnose me.
So then you just bank on. Here's the thing, though. I do know.
Because I think every specialist has GP in them.
You think that's why? If you specialize, you could have been a GP.
You've been a GP before, probably, right?
There's another counter argument to that, devil's advocate, all right, that it's harder to be a GP because you got to know more, okay?
You think the specialist is washed up on his everything else knowledge?
If you're a foot,
he hasn't reviewed what the latest back stuff is.
Bro, if you're just looking at corns on people's feet, yeah, that's a blister, that's a corn. You're not a GP, bro. You're not a guy going.
Some guy comes in and says, "Look at my eye vision." You're like,
"Yeah,
I just know how to diagnose a hangnail."
Exactly, dude. Whereas a GP's got to go. Someone comes in and he goes, "I got some chest pain." A GP's got to go, "Wow, all right. Let me."
I happen to know a little bit about chest pain.
I think what you might
I know 5% of the universe. I know 5% of every single part of your body. Let's hope that I can accurately diagnose that, and it falls within that 5%.
That's so funny. If there's like a Venn diagram, a GP is just like 5% of like all these.
It's some little dots everywhere.
Let's hope it falls under. Yeah, but he can go, hey, listen, maybe you need to start with a neurologist, and then let's get you into a back guy.
Right. And
that's the mix that a GP can do, I think. You know? That's why you want to get over to one of those guys, because he might go, hey, the problem is, another guy might miss it.
Here's another thing about the GP that I found, and I've got a bunch of pins here where I'm... How much do you like saying GP? GP is one. It's right up your alley for lingo.
It's
a GP. GP.
It's literally, really, what I'm loving about this a lot.
Here's the thing.
GP.
Here's the thing that I found about the GP. Is that oftentimes, sometimes I don't even see the GP. I see a physician's assistant, and I'm like, wait, where's the actual doctor?
Yeah, where's the GP?
Where's my actual? And they're like, doctor's tied up. If you don't have anything crazy, we send in one of these losers. That's like not a real doctor, but they can somehow prescribe medicine. Like that's what their big qualification is. Which, by the way, I've been prescribed
send in one of these losers.
Whenever they're like physician's assistant, I go talk to the hand. When's the last time you said talk to the hand?
The GP already knew very little. Now I'm dealing with you. Yeah. You know even less than the GP, you derivative loser. That's what you call him. You derivative loser.
You're training to be a head loser.
Get the fuck out of here. At least get
Imagine telling a physician, get the fuck out of here. I'll wait. I will wait for the GP.
Yeah, you derivative loser. What do you know?
You're just a derivative.
Yeah.
You're like, what? Oh, did you not learn that in math class, you derivative? That's how bad you are at science. You didn't even learn about derivatives. It's the inverse sine. Do you know what cosine it? You start doing just math. They're like, what's a math? Is this? She goes, I know what's wrong with you. You're crazy. It's not your knee. You're just a lunatic. Accurately diagnosed lunatic for just yelling at a physician's assistant right off the bat.
You cosine loser. That's good.
Cosine loser.
You're just, oh my God. What's the other one?
Tangent.
Pythagorean theorem.
Pythagorean theorem.
Yeah, yeah. Do you know how to do long D? Long. Oh, that's kind of that's a little rod. It's like, you know what?
We're never getting back to the. We're starting to say cosine. We're never getting back to the original storyline here. We're in another dimension. The podcast really gets into true form when we go into the other dimension.
That's right.
This is what's known as type 2. This is what's known as type 2 in the jam band community.
Yeah, is that right?
When they're playing a song and they start jamming, and then they go into a part of the jam where it's completely you don't recognize it from the song that it's sprang off of. It's completely unknowable. Where they're like, "What song is this?" And you're like, "It came out of this song, but it's so far out of this song that it went type 2."
Type 2. I love that.
Type 2 jamming.
That's brilliant.
Type 3 has never been done before.
Really?
Never. You can never go
because then
type
you don't
3.
you don't even know it came from type 2.
Right. Exactly.
Type
3 is another dimension. It's never been done before.
Dude, type 2 is a killer North Star.
Yeah.
We should maybe title it that. We're trying to go type 2 with the cosine loser, the reductive hypotenuse loser. That's what you call the nurse.
I've been misdiagnosed by this physician's assistant. She gave me 3 different types of medicine. She's like, "Here's 3 different. You have to take them all."
Where was the doctor?
I woke up in the middle of the night hallucinating. I was in college. I was like, "What the hell is going on?" I had to wake up my buddies, and I'm like, "Dude, can you like watch me? Like I'm hallucinating right now. Like I can't like this. I'm in another world."
3 different types.
Yeah, she's prescribed me 3 different types.
I don't take. I'm not a big medicine guy, dude. I got to be honest with you. Yeah, I'm like, I don't need this. Okay, I'll take a hot bath and I'll watch a rom-com.
Yeah,
that'll soothe me.
Like this guy gave me for my.
Where
niece.
was the doctor though? That's my thing. Because have you
you don't ask when the
GP,
physician's
where was
assistant,
the GP at?
Right, when the physician's assistant walks in,
you go, "Where's the GP?"
You don't. I haven't done that because I don't have the guts to tell someone you're essentially telling the person to their face you're useless.
Yeah, but
I understand you want to get rid of me with just your services, but it's not sufficient.
No, because they're using you like a live textbook. You just had your head in a textbook, sweetheart. You know, I'm here. I'm a real person. I need the GP.
Well, what it is I think they let's say they have 10 rooms.
Yeah.
Right. There might be 2 GPs running around.
Yeah, this is what I noticed.
They probably have 6 or 7 physician's assistant, and the physician's assistant is there to extinguish little fires.
Yeah.
And the GP is there for a forest fire. He goes, "Only come get me if there's a forest fire."
That's what it is. You know, take blood, put out little fires. Oh, this guy, he's a little nauseous.
Right.
Don't come to me unless you got something big time.
Right.
But have you ever noticed that the nurse will call you and they'll be like, "Hey, the doctor's in surgery. He can't see you today."
No.
They never had. That was what was happening to me. I couldn't get the goddamn GP on the line. I needed to get, it was a serious problem.
I don't call.
No, they kept calling me.
Oh.
They were calling me up. He just went into cert. Have you noticed? Wow.
GPs don't do surgery, I don't think.
Maybe it was a specialist.
That's what could happen.
The specialist, I got rescheduled 3 or 4 times.
Hey, you've got a little bellyache.
I was getting bumped.
Yeah.
No, I did not have a bellyache. I had legitimate discoloration in my man fluids.
Ugh.
Yeah, thanks for coming out. It was a real problem.
Oh.
Yeah, and I was like, I had to yell. At one point, I yelled at the woman, and then I called her back and apologized. I was like, listen, sorry about that.
Listen, you derivative. I know I yelled at you.
Yeah.
What I've noticed is that if a physician's assistant is taking care of you. When you leave the office, you'll see the GP in the hallway.
Yeah.
And he'll kind of try to not make eye contact because he knows what's happening. He'll be like, oh, shit, this guy just made eye contact with me.
He's going to want to fucking stop me and fucking interrogate.
Yeah. But anyway, so I go to this specialist.
So you go to the specialist. What
Right.
type? Because I just see a urologist.
Orthopedic surgeon.
Oh, okay. There's lots of those.
Well, I was looking for...
That's like a foot,
knee,
leg,
like
arm
ligaments.
guy.
Yeah.
Ligaments. Do you ever look that stuff up and go, what's this guy? You know? What is this?
Well,
guy?
I looked it up. I got a knee problem. Who do I see? They're like an orthopedist.
Oh.
I go on ZocDoc.
Is there a knee guy, though? Like an even more specialized knee guy?
No, I think that's an orthopedist.
Okay.
So I go to the orthopedist, and it said orthopedic surgeon on the thing.
Yeah.
And I was looking for just a strict orthopedist because I'm like, I don't want to waste a surgeon's time.
Yeah,
you know?
and you don't want... This guy might have perverse incentives. He's like, hey, man, let's get you into surgery.
Exactly.
You're like, I don't
so
want...
I've got my playbook going in there.
Yeah,
I know what my playbook is. This guy's not going to bully me around with a... You ever do this where you go in for a diagnosis, right? You say, I think I have this.
Full of expectation that's going to throw off the doctor? Is that what you're about to say?
Right. Well, you think you have this, A. You think you have X thing going on. You're like, I'm going to go in and see if I have X thing.
Yeah.
And then the more they question you,
Yeah.
the more you dumb it down because you're scared of the reality that it might actually be that. And he's like, well, how much pain are you? Well,
that's right.
It's not like that bad. It's like a 3. It's like a 2. And they're like,
yeah.
Do you have this? And you're like once a week. Like you start dumbing it down because you don't want the reality that they're like, yes, you do have this.
Okay, so I used to be kind of like that. I've changed my ways with this. I go in there and I tell them the flat out hard truth.
Yeah.
And fast. You know, I do not mince words. I'm like, I do this happened, this is what's going on.
Yeah.
I used to kind of be like, oh, I'll be like worried that they'd like do some shit I don't need. Like if you were getting your car fixed.
Right.
And you're like, the muffler's fine. All right. It's got a little dent, but it's really not a big deal.
Yeah.
Because you can get taken. But now I'm just like,
yeah.
Now I go in and just give them the
goods.
Yeah.
So I go into this guy and I'm in the waiting room. And first of all, I have a 9 o'clock. What, you got something?
No, I know where you're going because I've had experiences like this. I mean, we all talk about with the out waiting. I mean, this is
beyond, right? So I go there. I'm on ZocDoc. The first appointment is 9 a.m.
Okay,
right?
You took that.
Take 9 a.m.
Yeah, you're a 9 a.m.
You can't be late if you're the first appointment. No. That's what one would assume.
Yeah, not only that,
that's what one would assume.
You would assume that the doctor is not busy. No one's been there yet.
Yes.
How is the
There's no clog. There's no clog up.
That's the there's no clog is right. You come in going, all right, everybody, I know there's no clog. Maybe you got some prep. Maybe you got a little bit of computer work.
Right.
But there's no
Check
clog.
your schedule, see who you got coming in.
I don't want too long. I know there's no clog.
Right.
That's sort of really funny to say to the reductive loser out front. I know there's no clog.
I know there's no one back there. I can see him eating his breakfast.
Yeah, I'll take a seat.
Tell him he can finish his breakfast. But within 5 minutes of him finishing, because he does need to I know that he needs to digest too. I'm not an animal.
Yeah, 11.
But I expect to be in there. Why don't you do the pre-work on me? So I get in there, and I know that it's his first appointment.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to be an asshat and show up right at 9, right?
Oh, okay.
I'm showing up at 8:40.
Right.
Giving myself time to do the paperwork. If he wants to take me early so that we keep the conveyor belt going. If he wants to take me early, I'll do that.
Okay.
I get in there at 8:40. There's already 3 people sitting down.
Oh, no.
And they've got their names on. There's like the sign-in sheet, and they've already got their names down.
Wow.
And
when
I'm
do you
like,
think they fucking got there?
And I'm like, what the hell is this? I thought I was the first.
Yeah.
So I go up to the counter.
Shit.
And the woman goes,
now there's clog. Now there's definitive clog.
Definitive clog. And I don't know in what order of clog I'm in.
Yeah.
Because I took the first. I don't know if they just booked 4 9 o'clocks or whether they're super early and hoping to get in before the rush.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's a good call.
Oh, maybe the 9 o'clock doesn't show up on time. Let me see if I can get in there and bump them.
Yeah.
So I go up to the counter, and they're like, who are you here to see? I'm like, Doctor whatever. I forget his name. And they're like,
Byzantine.
Yeah. Here to see
Leslie.
Dr. Byzantine. Oh, you're here to see Dr. Byzantine? That's that window down there. And I'm like, all right. She goes, She goes, the receptionist isn't in yet.
Oh, no.
And I'm like, God.
The receptionist isn't
even the receptionist isn't in here.
Yeah. You're in trouble.
So I'm sitting there, and she goes, is it your first time being here? I'm like, yeah. She's like, why don't you fill out the paperwork ahead of time anyways? That's Byzantine's paperwork. Fill it out.
Oh, okay.
She'll help you. I'm like, thanks for the tip.
Yeah.
Here's $1. Tipped her. No. But you don't get tips too often, huh, on your advice.
Just this prick who's tipping people at a doctor's office is so funny.
I don't have any change. Sorry. I'd give you a tip. But
here. Thanks for the tip.
Yeah.
Here's a 5.
So I'm filling out the paperwork, and it's like 8:58, and I'm like, this fucking person still isn't here yet.
Oh, yeah. And now you know that person's got to get set up once they get there. So now
I start understanding what the clog is all about at these doctors' offices. It might not be.
Also, by the way, just as an aside, sitting at a fucking doctor's office is a true nightmare. It's not like other places like where you can just like, it's very sterile and quiet and weird.
See, here's where we differ.
Wait, what are you about to say?
Unless it's a some place where I could get contagious something, unless it's a doctor's office where like people are coughing, sneezing, they're vomiting.
Oh, no, I don't even give a shit. I'm talking
if
about
someone comes in with kind of like a limp arm, I'm kind of curious to see what the happening. What's going on with people?
That's crazy town. I can't stand those fucking, like, the way she's facing everyone, and we're all just kind of sitting there hoping against hope that the next name is yours. And then it's always like the lady walks up and is like, Leslie Armada. And you're like, this fucking woman came in after me. I can't stand waiting. I don't care if it's a specialist office.
Here's the thing, though. Is
I'd rather wait. I'd rather be on the subway.
The beauty of the doctor's office is that there's really nothing else you can be doing in that time. Because
I know.
And no one can be mad at you for being. It's like sacred time. Where like someone at your job hits, where are you? You're like, I'm at the doctor's office. I got something going on.
Okay, that's true. You have an excuse
it's like
from
complete
work.
Peace.
Yeah, but I'd rather get through the doc quick and then just tell work.
I don't want to be there for a long time.
Yeah,
but I'm fine sitting in that chair for 15 minutes.
15's when I'm maxing out. I really don't like sitting in those places.
All right. That's, I don't know what to tell you. So 8:58, 8:59, right at 9:01. I'm looking at my watch. 9:01, the woman walks in. Struts in. No urgency.
Yeah, she was basically on time.
Some guy comes up to her immediately, and she goes, I'll get around to you.
Oh, yeah.
Go take a seat, please.
Up. Yeah.
And we're like,
I can't believe you like waiting at these places. This is a nightmare.
This is different.
What do you mean? This is harder the whole thing.
In the morning, if the person isn't there, that's different. But in the throes of a day, if it's 2, 3 o'clock and I have to wait 15 minutes, I understand.
Yeah, you're pulling out a fucking book, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, continue.
But if it's the morning. So she comes up, and I'm always super nice to these people. I know that no one's happy there, you know. She goes, hey. And I go, hey, how's your morning going? She goes,
It's
good.
just,
How
like,
was
so
yours?
Insulting. No one's happy there.
And I'm like, I'm pretty good. And by the way, here's the other thing. Everyone in the waiting room at that time had they were like, one guy was in a wheelchair. One guy had like a sling.
Yeah, you got knee pain.
Right. And I've got some stupid knee pain. I don't even know if it's knee, but like if it's anything crazy.
You skipped the GP. You skipped the GP and you
Everyone
got knee
else,
pain.
Some people have probably surgery coming up.
She's looking at you. You skipped the GP. Fucking Byzantine. This guy skipped the GP and he's got knee pain.
So I go through all this stuff. The assistant calls me and he goes, Miller. I'm like, yep.
And stop. Did he come out from the thing?
There's like the side door.
Yeah, he comes out from the thing.
And everyone looks.
Yep, like the lotto ticket.
Miller. Yep. And then you walk up.
Yeah, you're very, also when you get called, you sort of feel bad. You're like, all right, I'll take this.
And I start doing a little limp, you know, because I didn't really have a limp, but I didn't want to look like a complete loser just strutting up there. So I did like a little limp to make it seem like it was justified being there.
Oh my God, that's
so
funny.
I go up. He goes, "What's going on?" I got some knee pain. He goes, "Knee pain?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Have you had X-rays?" And I'm like, "No, I haven't had any X-rays."
He's like,
and in his head, he's like, "This guy has skipped like 20 steps." So he's like, "All right, what happens?" And I'm like, and I tell him my symptoms. He's like, all right, we're gonna take some X-rays.
Okay.
In 2 seconds, you know, take some X-rays. We'll get the doctor seeing you. I'm like, perfect.
Okay, this sounds like it might be working out a little bit.
So I get the X-rays.
Yeah.
I get into the doctor's office, and I get into the doctor's office, and I see a framed picture of like basketball players.
Ooh, okay.
With signatures.
And you're thinking, this is how I can relate to this guy.
Well, I'm like, this guy does high-profile surgeries.
Yeah.
There's no way a doctor has a picture of whatever.
Oh, he's not like he's not like a fan.
And
Oh, I thought maybe it was a fan.
No, so I'm like, this guy's
and you can
legit.
go, hey, Doc, I see you like hooping. I like, you know, I played in my day.
Well, I go, he comes in, he's like, what's the problem? I feel like the doctor's always a little suspicious, you know? He's like, what's going on?
You skipped the GP. I mean, you're like a fucking...
He's like, how did you get by the defense?
Yeah,
all
dude,
the
he's like
defenses.
behind the fence. That's right.
I'm a backpacker.
You're a mole. I'm
a
mole.
backpacker.
Yes, you're a
for
mole.
For the comedy show.
That's right. You're a mole behind the fort lines. He's like, how the fuck did this guy...
Stop wincing, you pussy.
How did I get this fucking guy?
He just punches my knee. Does that hurt?
Yeah, he's fucking like, who the fuck? By the way, did I ever tell you how I went? This is really quick. I went to City MD when I was getting checked out for the urology problem I was having, and they took X-rays, and they go, well, we don't know what's wrong with you. You got to go see a urologist, but you are constipated.
Oh, yeah.
That's what they told me. They go, look, you're constipated.
Look at all this. And they show you all the shit in your body.
And I go, bro, I've been in line for 5 hours. I know that. I actually need to take, I told him, I was telling this a bit at one point. I'm not constipated. I need to take a shit. You know? Thanks for highlighting. Isn't that the weirdest thing ever?
There's like...
You got shit in your ass. I'm like, I know I got shit in my ass. I didn't come in here for you to tell me I got shit in my ass.
Your knee is shattered on the X-ray, and they're like, does your knee hurt? Your knee probably hurts.
Does your knee hurt?
We don't know like to what degree, but your knee probably hurts.
Yeah. You know your well, we don't know what's up with your knee. You got some knee pain? Go see a knee guy. You know your bladder's full of urine?
Can you pee in this cup? Yeah, you pee. It's kind of discolored.
Yeah. What is that?
What's up with that? They ask you, what's up with that?
Yeah,
it's discolored. You're like, I was coming to you for that.
Bro, So that pissed me to shit. I thought that was so crazy. Anyway, you go in, minute bowl. You're an enemy behind the. You've snuck behind the lines.
I've snuck behind.
Yeah, you got no X-ray. You skipped everything.
And on his desk is a bunch of like vials of different type of stuff.
Yeah,
and I'm like, I hope this guy doesn't like shoot me up with something. Like this guy is like a serious dude. Right?
Yeah, you've kind of right. Now you're going, maybe I shouldn't
be here.
I've just got a little knee pain.
So he comes in.
Oh my god.
Before he comes in, I'm hearing
oh my god.
the people in each room what their deal is.
Oh, okay.
And he's like, so how was the surgery? And the guy's like,
no.
oh, it's going well. He goes, can you walk this and that? And like both of the guys were like, and one guy goes, hey, if it isn't the best orthopedist in New York. And I'm like, this guy is like an accomplished orthopedist. He doesn't do knee pain. Like this guy.
You're like a fraud. You're like a true fraud. All of a sudden, like your knee pain.
It's almost like I've snuck into the in like the president's Oval Office.
Yeah.
It's like, how did you get here?
It's almost like you had two jokes, and all of a sudden you're at the cellar.
Right.
And you're like, I mean, I have a couple jokes, but I don't know if
And Esty is looking at me. She's like, how is he on stage right now?
That's right. All right, we'll put you up.
Yeah.
So oh my God. So that's legendary. The guy goes, oh, isn't the best fucking orthopedic in New York.
Yeah, and I'm like, fuck this guy. And now I'm really starting to like get my story together. You know, I'm like, I really need to have a crisp tale here.
Crisp tail. Now you're just fucking.
Now I'm like wasting. I was thinking about even leaving. I was like, should I just leave?
Yo, that would be the funniest shit ever if you got up and left.
Sorry, this is a mistake. Sorry.
Do you think that guy would have ever seen that? He walks in and he's like, where the fuck was the guy that was just in here? I think you scared him away. I think he legitimately
scared him away from help. He was there for help, but you scared him away. He's like, I'd rather go through the pain than to face his disappointing look.
Yeah, because he's such a big deal. You don't want to come to this guy. You don't want this guy. You know, he's a big deal. You know, you want something.
Yeah.
You know, hey, I got an ACL tear.
Right.
You know, he's a big deal. He's a fucking. So you're. That's why I think you got to use the hoops. You got to relate to him on the hoops level.
Right.
Hey, Doc, I played hoops. He's like, what is this?
And so he comes in, he does the clipboard on the desk, kind of tosses it.
He does not.
The clipboard on the desk.
Oh, that's brilliant. You think he gives a little toss?
Gives a little toss. All right. He doesn't even need to look at it. Because you know how they kind of look at the clipboard to see the preview of what they're about to see? He goes, I don't need this clipboard for this guy's reference during this meeting.
Oh my God, I'm going to spit up.
He's kind of like rubbing his eyes. Right.
I know that move. He lets the clipboard go, and he goes, yeah, this guy, I can read this guy so fast. He's so transparent.
Yeah.
I don't even need the vitals. I don't need to know his weight. I don't even need to know where he came from.
What's the matter?
He did not say. Is that what he said?
What's the matter?
He goes, what's the matter?
He goes, Tobin? I go, yeah. He goes, what's the matter?
Wow. This guy's the real deal. You go, aren't you going to look at any of my fucking...
Didn't we have x-rays taken?
I wrote a few things down there. I
already ran this by your derivative. Did you not consult the derivative? At this point, I want the derivative. I'm like, I don't know if I'm ready for the specialist. Give me the derivative. I start playing dumb. I'm like, you're a GP, right?
Bring the derivative back in here. I'm not ready for you.
I'm not ready for this
I gave
guy.
you a few. Yeah, it's weird when you're like, don't you want to take a look?
I filled out 20 pages of check marks.
And then this guy goes,
I told you I don't smoke 100 times. That was another thing that I loved was that when they ask you multiple times if you smoke, and then when the nurse comes in, she asks you if you smoke again. And you're like, do you think I was like...
No, that's so funny because people do, they need to be asked several times.
Fine. I smoke.
You
got me.
You got the third time's a charm. Dude, that's so funny when the doc goes, no. Like, it's just such a gangster move where he's like, hey, I've been doing this so long. This is a formality. I don't even know why. I've been begging them not to. I don't want to use a clipboard.
He's not even listening to me when he says, what's the matter?
Go for it. Shoot.
He's not even listening because he's already filling out like what the diagnosis is. He's already completed. That's probably why he doesn't use the clipboard. He's already completed it.
That's right.
It's already done. He's already answered all the questions.
He's like Neo, dude. He's like the architect. Yeah. He's just so nice. He
can see through the door. The door is all ones and zeros, and he's seeing this like little shadow of a loser sitting on the table, twiddling his thumbs, sweating because he knows that he shouldn't be there.
Yeah, it's all ones and zeros. You're all ones and zeros. Yeah. Yes, your knee too.
Yeah,
it's just the code, and he's like, okay,
shouldn't be here.
And that's how he says what's the matter. He says it like he knows what's the matter. He goes, Tobin, what's the matter?
What's the matter?
I know what it is, but why don't you? I've got to keep up appearances.
Guy has to say. Yeah.
Because I don't want people to know that
I am the best orthopedist in New York. I can't survive a negative review.
Yeah, that's right. I can see through time and space.
Yeah.
What's the matter, right? I don't want people to figure me out.
Yeah.
Go for it. And you're like, and then it's just weekly. You're like, well,
I start describing, I got some knee pain, and he stops me midway through my description. Yeah, he goes, "All right, stand up." Like he doesn't even want to hear it. He's like, "All right, stand up." And I'm like, well, the important thing is like when I stand.
Oh, really?
I was like, well, the important thing is I can continue to describe. He's like, stand up. And he's like just bypassing what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because he knows it's all smoke and mirrors.
Yeah.
So he's like, all right.
Yeah.
Take a squat. Now get back up. Does that hurt? I go, no. And he goes, all right, go on your left foot and jump up and down 5 times.
Wow, so he's just isolated.
He's exercising.
That's the thing. He's ones and zeros, and he's going in, and he's going, not this.
He goes, whatever you say has been formulating in your head a while. I'm going to go straight to the source right here.
That's right. I'm cutting right through you. We're going into the knee. Right. We're going to the knee. Go. Yeah. What did he say? Squat.
Boom.
Come up.
Any pain?
Yeah.
No? All right.
Okay.
Now start hopping on your left foot. And I'm hopping up and down. I'm like a monkey here.
Yeah. And then he goes, any pain?
Any pain? No. And he goes, all right, do it on your right knee. Any pain? No. And he goes, all right, lie down.
Whoa. Okay. So to phase 1, he couldn't get there.
Right.
He ruled some stuff out.
He goes, all right, so this doesn't hurt this guy. So he goes, lie down. And he goes,
where are you? Are you on the floor?
No, I'm on the sheet.
You're in a sheet place.
I'm on the sheet bed.
Gotcha. The sheet bed.
Yeah. The sheet bed that has never fit me.
I pictured you in like an office with green carpeting.
No.
Oh, okay. And like talking on a desk.
Nope.
Wow. Okay. Keep going. My vision was so off.
So, and also the window was like, the blinds were shut, and part of me wanted to like kind of get the window going. But I didn't want to mess up. Yeah, but I didn't want to mess up his feng shui. So I was like, while I was waiting, I was like, should I open this window or no?
That's funny.
So then he starts wiggling around my knee. He starts asking. He's like starting to like jab it and this. And he's
how
like,
aggressive is he? How is his grip?
That's the thing. Is like these maneuvers are always pretty aggressive.
Usually,
but you know they're in good hands, and they're very particular with the.
But power. There was power.
It's power, but they know that it won't hurt in a way. You know what I mean?
That's a great point. It's
They know where to reinforce.
That's right. It's intentioned power.
Yes.
It's just enough power and this is why it's so much power. Any more power, they probably hurt you.
Right.
So they can go all the way to max.
And if they're not bracing on the other side, they know to brace on certain points
to
relieve if it's not just this isolated part.
So you're right, and it's kind of an odd feeling, isn't it? Because you go, wow, this is like really interesting, adept power, right on the knee. Yeah, that's interesting.
So then he goes, all right, point exactly where it is. And I go right.
So now he's getting pissed.
I go like right here. I'm like, it's nowhere.
Wait, it's gone.
I'm actually auditing you. I'm with the Doctors Association. You passed.
Yeah, you passed with flying colors.
All right, good.
Wait, but this is so funny. You realize this, right? That everything's broke down, and now he's just going, all right, dude, just point to it.
His ABC, his going through the ABCs isn't finding anything.
Yeah,
and
right?
He's like, this guy's a clown.
Go ahead and point, sir. So
I point, and I point to my knee, and I go, but it's like underneath. He goes, all right, do you exercise a lot? Like, do you play like you a basketball player?
Oh, here it comes.
And I'm
now
like,
the hoop. Do you like Manute Bol?
I'm like, it's funny you ask. I play a lot of basketball, but I haven't been playing lately because of COVID. I haven't been out playing basketball.
Oh.
And he's like, all right, that's, he goes, do you walk around a lot? And I was like, so I'm trying to impress. Well, I go, well, at night I do stand-up comedy.
Woo! That might be the best moment of the entire podcast. The mic spin, dude. The mic spin. Isn't that funny when you drop that after a while just to try to impress somebody?
Because I'm all right.
Well, funny you ask. Actually do stand-up comedy. And he's like, all right, well, that doesn't
So I go, well, I do comedy, so I'm walking around a lot from spot to spot. He goes, all right. He goes.
He had nothing to say about that?
So listen to this.
Wow. Okay.
He goes, where you go up, like Comedy Cellar?
Oh, no. Because he's such a top-notch, big deal guy. He immediately goes to the top spot.
And I'm like, nah, I'm not like that.
Right.
I'm not like that type. And he goes, it was funny because I just had a comedian here a couple days ago.
Stop.
And he goes, I actually work on I've had a couple comedians come in here.
Who?
And he goes, he goes, Godfrey.
Wow.
And he goes, a guy named Will. And I'm like, Will Sylvence? He goes, yeah, Will Sylvence.
Oh, my God,
And he starts rattling off these great comedians. And I'm like, I'm even more of a fraud. In every aspect.
Oh, my God.
In every aspect.
No knee pain, open micer.
Not really a comedian. Not really a basketball player. I'm like, I'm just striking out with this guy. It was
I'm striking out with this guy like you're trying to bang him.
Yeah.
I'm just losing. I'm losing. Right, you come in, all of a sudden you got no knee pain. All of a sudden you're like, well, I do comedy, but like not really.
Yeah.
All of a sudden you're like, I play basketball, and he's like, really? And you're like, well, not much right now.
So he goes like, oh, me and my girlfriend were about to go to the Comedy Cellar tonight, but she's like wussing out or something like that.
Dude, this guy is a straight... Dude,
and he
reminds me of Henry Hill in fucking Goodfellas.
Dude, this guy's like 55.
This guy's a ledge,
He's probably a millionaire orthopedist.
Yeah, dude, he's getting front tables at the Cellar, dude.
He's got probably a 25-year-old girlfriend,
Boom. What's the
He
matter,
knows all the
Miller?
best comedians. He's doing surgery on basketball players.
Boom.
I almost wanted to be like, I didn't come here for knee. I want to hang out with you. Can we just hang out? That would make my knee feel a lot better.
Isn't that the funniest thing ever? Just striking out with this guy.
Yeah.
And then you're like, you know what, man? Let's just hang out.
Yeah, it's...
my knee feels fine.
It's not about the knee anymore.
Yeah. I'm finding out that fucking half the city... you already know he's the best fucking orthopedic in the city. Now he's telling you go, yeah, I'm a comic. And he goes, oh, yeah? Godfrey, Sylvence?
Yeah.
We were going to go tonight,
like
but my 25-year-old fucking babe doesn't want to head over.
Yeah. All of a sudden, I've forgotten about my knee. I just... Now my brain hurts. I'm like, now I'm depressed. I came here with a knee.
That's funny. He, refers you to a psychologist. Yeah. He writes you a prescription.
He's like, oh, you think you're a comic, you think you have knee pain, but you don't have any of those things.
No, he goes, hey, Miller, I think your knee will be fine, but
so
it sounds like you need a friend.
Well, what he looked at me, and I looked at him, and I go...
You did not.
I go, I've heard what's going on in the other rooms.
You did not.
I did. And
Yo,
I go,
I
know I'm probably a loser coming in here for just some knee pain. And he goes, I just want, and
you're making like the speech in the rom-com where you ask the guy out.
Yes. So I go, I know I'm probably a loser coming in. I heard surgeries and stuff, but I just wanted to make sure it wasn't anything significant.
Oh, that's so nice recovery.
This is just simply preventative. I want to make sure that it's not something that'll snowball.
You're back in. I think that I just want to make sure it's not significant. It's a real power line.
Right.
Hey,
I'm
look.
not trying to get medication.
Right.
I just want you to know.
And you're also acknowledging I snuck behind the defenses.
Yeah.
I realized that.
I realize I shouldn't be.
Okay. It's a little bit of a white flag. Hey, yeah. I just want to make sure it's not significant.
I'm waving the white flag. Just let me go in peace.
Oh, that's brilliant. So you give the epic speech.
I give the speech. He goes, don't worry about it. You don't need surgery. You don't have tendonitis. You don't have tendonitis. You don't have this. You don't have that. He goes, what I think you have is something called jumper's knee.
Oh, what?
And he goes, it's the patella.
Yeah.
Right here.
From too much jumping.
He goes, it's probably that, where if you're walking on heavy, like bad surfaces, if you're jumping on concrete, this and that, you can hurt this.
Wow.
So what you do is you just kind of ice it, take it easy. Yeah. We have this little band that we're going to give you to put around if you're ever exercising or stuff like that. But just wait it out.
Jumper's knee.
Yeah.
Wow. So he let you off. Yeah.
So he lets me off. He goes, my assistant, my derivative will help you out. Go check it. He'll give you this little band. You're going to be all this
You're
stuff.
going to be good.
So I go to the guy and I look at him. I'm like, I'm a loser. Like I do that thing again where I'm like, am I a loser? He's like, no, you're fine. And then I look at him.
You're asking like the other. You're like, hey,
I'm like, just everyone. Right? I'm sorry. Everyone else is hobbling around in wheelchairs. So I look at him. I go, so he does some high profile, and I point to one basketball.
Does like Godfrey have jumper's knee?
I don't know, but Godfrey's a big dude, right? I'm sure he's had some injuries.
Right.
I feel like people that exercise a lot and weightlift, usually have injuries.
Wait, which Godfrey is it? Godfrey,
big. Seller, black.
Yeah. Oh,
does
I was
a bunch
thinking
of voices.
oh my God! Do you know who
he's like Jack?
You know who I was thinking of?
Who?
The older comic that passed
not
away.
Gilbert Godfrey.
Yeah, I was thinking
Gilbert Godfrey isn't dead.
He's not.
No.
Okay.
I did a cameo for my brother for Gilbert.
That's
Godfrey.
for a second there. That's what I thought you were saying.
No, not
dude,
Gilbert
Godfrey's
Godfrey.
a legend too. That's so okay. Right. So he goes. All right. You know what's funny too is that there's like a real basketball tint to this guy. Hey, you got jumper's knee?
The physician's assistant, this derivative, looked
you got
at me.
dribbler's knee.
He goes, I had jumper's knee too. He knows the diagnosis. He goes, I had jumper's knee too. I played ball in college.
Oh, he's giving you the ball move.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
He's like, I played ball in college.
Did you hit him back?
Well, he knows I play ball. I'm 6'7" and I got jumper's knee. He knows what's going on.
Oh, so you never had to say that.
Not to the physician.
Gangster.
Not to the physician's assistant.
Did you tell whatever his face you had played ball?
Yeah, I said I play basketball, but I haven't played in a while.
Yeah.
He's like,
say college.
He goes, what level?
There we go. That's what I was trying. I knew it was there.
And
I knew the what level is.
I'm like, high school and intramurals. He goes, do you play in college? Intramurals. I was getting recruited by some schools, but I didn't want to go to those schools.
Gotcha. Yeah.
I wasn't going to choose. My thing is, like, I'm not going to go to the NBA.
Yeah.
Why would I choose my school just to play basketball? I'd rather go to...
No, that's smart as shit. So
what I did, my choosing school, did you remember College Prowler? Was that around when you chose schools?
That sounds like a sexual assault.
It's a website that rated schools in every category A through F.
Really? No, I don't remember that.
Every category, and it had little blurbs from the students on what was going on. Academics, nightlife, girls, guys, campus,
That's actually not like the worst thing to have. Yeah, it's kind of fucked up.
Literally, intramural. It literally had 20 categories, and I just looked for nightlife, girls. I wanted the biggest.
That's why I went to a big state school.
What I want to do is have the biggest difference between girls and guys.
Yeah,
I wanted girls to be at an A+ and guys to be at an F. So that I could outshine.
Come into that little gap.
And Santa Clara didn't have that. Santa Clara had like the best campus. It had great nightlife. It had great girls and guys. Yeah.
Dude, no, it was chaos when I went. Let me tell you something. It was so rugged and raw when I was applying to colleges still. You got one lady and she was like, this is your target. This is your reach. And then we'll do 3 safeties.
Yeah.
You know, and you were like, all right, do you need any information from me?
Yeah.
And she was like, no, this is the best of this. And it was like so bare bones.
You go to your college counselor, and she's like, you're going to Nebraska.
That's what it was like, yo. No, I swear to God, there were people that they were like filtering. They were like, you'd be best to go to UConn.
Like, do you even know my... Nope. We just know that one of you guys has to go to Nebraska.
One of you needs to go to Wisconsin.
Yep.
The cheese, you know?
The cheese.
Yeah, man, it was like that. It was fucking crazy. So you told him that you did.
Yeah, the story. There's nothing really after that.
Yeah, and then you talk to him and you bounce.
I go home. I bike home.
Yeah. I bike home. That's legendary, man. That's one of our longest stories.
I was looking at the time. Yeah. That's probably been like a 45-minute story.
That's our longest. That's a top story.
We almost traded places. I feel like what usually happens is you'll be telling a story, and I'll start asking little clarifying questions in order to go down an interesting path, and then we'll go back to the main path.
Right.
That's and instead exactly you did this.
That's right. And you carried this. This was a killer story. This is like one of the fun things to do on here too.
Right.
Is to try to, we were talking about this, extend out stories.
Right.
As long as you possibly can.
Chew off all the meat.
Yeah, till you're literally going, you asked me what level I played at. Now, you were very good at this because your memory's strong. Like, you're even able to give clear dialogue, I think, is one of the biggest keys to a good... Because, remembering actually what the fucking guy says.
Well,
that's the important, what level. That shit's funny.
What's also important is the person asking you questions makes you think about other things that you weren't going to say.
That's right. You need
now
to
all
slow
of a sudden
down.
We're going down this other path, and I'm realizing, oh, remember this happened.
Yeah.
I was going to go straight to Comedy Cellar.
That's
right. But instead, we went around this whole other thing, and I'm like,
exactly. And that's why you got to slow the person down. That's the key. We realized there.
That's why when you were talking about the E-party, I was like, wait.
That's right.
What person were you to show up? I wanted the whole layout.
That's so brilliant.
What's the setup?
And there you can, and something like that, you would almost expect to get 20 to 30 out of it.
Right.
That's what we should start doing is look at it and record and go, okay, how is that set for us?
Right.
Because now we know we can do a 30 to 40 if there's enough meat. Now, this turned out that as we went into it, there was a lot of meat. It was kind of one of those funny ones.
We just went down these different paths of details.
But sometimes stories you might think there's more and there isn't as much.
Right.
So that was a good, a good amount of stuff in there.
Right. And I like how we're telling the listeners how to, in case you want to know how to do the pro. Are these things that we want to talk about?
Oh yeah. Well, we can't. I mean, we don't need to.
I need
now.
to take a piss for 2 seconds. Is that cool or no?
Yeah. Go for it. Because we torch this now. We're in the clear. And honestly, these 2 topics, I don't even know if there's anything here. Oh. This this is a nice healthy break. Got to do with it. Rest in peace, DMX. Oh, God. No, seriously, I was listening to... I was a huge DMX fan.
I come out wondering what you're talking about. It's Rest in peace.
I literally hadn't said anything, and then I was on the cab down here. There was a DMX song.
Yeah.
But, yeah, these topics are not... One of them's literally the movies from last night that I watched. Because earlier I was like, I watched too many movies. I loved The Watch. This is good for the listeners. The Watch is so fucking underrated.
Really?
Yes. As a comedy film, dude, it's just stupid fun. And think about the talent. Stiller, Vaughn, Jonah Hill.
Isn't it like Aliens?
Yeah, but it's just a stupid plot to get you on board for the comedy.
Right.
Those are three... Jonah Hill has proven through Wolf of Wall Street and now through Superbad to be one of the best comedic actors going right now.
I'd say he's one of the... I don't want to say one of the all-time greats, but I'd
extremely
I'd almost
strong.
put him up with like a Brad Pitt or someone
he's
like
a brilliant actor.
right?
Yeah. And
where he can act any part. It can be serious or funny.
Yes. And dude...
And he creates.
Ask him to do.
He creates too. It's not like he's just an actor. He creates things, right?
Yeah, like mid '90s and shit. You're talking about?
Well, like Superbad, like all that stuff.
Yeah. Right. So, and in this movie, he was willing to just. He's doing like idiot fucking like old school type, just bonehead comedy. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Having someone that talented do that type of comedy is fucking awesome. Like, so he's doing all these ridiculous jokes that you're like, this is fucking great. Vince Vaughn is just Vince Vaughn. He in any movie, I don't care. He's kind of like Will Ferrell a little bit in this. He's going to make you laugh at points, even if you hate the film.
See, I'm kind of over the Vaughn shtick.
Oh, I'd go watch this movie. He's really strong. He's
all right. It's on Netflix,
HBO Max, and then Stiller. And let's be real here, Ben Stiller might be the most underrated comedic actor of all time. The amount of Meet the Parents, okay, Something About Mary, Heartbreak Kid. He comes into this movie, dude, and just he's the lead. He holds the movie up. So then, and then you have just banter with just fucking Jonah Hill and Vince Vaughn. I'm like, how is this movie? It's stacked. The cast is stacked. It's fucking crazy. So anyway, and it's stupid. This is the thing. I like sometimes stupid movies. I don't need you to wow me. I want just boneheaded. I don't have to think.
Here's my question. How long is the movie?
It's like 140.
All right, good.
Yeah, right. If it was even long, then it gets a little
I'm so sick of these 2.5 hours. I feel like everyone thinks they have to do a 2:20.
Yeah, and it's like the movie's not even... that's like crazy when it gets... There was another movie that I didn't watch because it was so fucking long. I don't remember what it was. But anyway, and then that I recommend. And then the other one I watched was Synchronic, which is with Anthony Mackie thriller.
Wow.
With Jamie Dornan. And it's like a poor man's kind of True Detective. And the drug is taking people into other dimensions. Time travel. So like the ayahuasca's pulling people.
What movie is this?
Synchronic.
All right.
And it's on Netflix, and it was fucking fun watch. Like, it was a good watch.
There's a trailer I was watching.
Yeah.
That was very similar. I forget what it's called. Flashback, maybe.
Or something like that. Yeah. I feel like it's a genre. It's a sci-fi kind of genre film.
Yeah.
But Mackey's fucking talented as fuck. And Jamie Dornan's like, their movie stuff, like they're good. They both do a good job. So both those were two. You know, we could do movie recs here and there. I would put both of those up there. You know, like I think I've noticed this. Watch The Watch when you're in a good mood and you're like in a mood for a comedy. You know, if you're in the mood for a film, don't watch The Watch. Right? Yeah. So, but I was up to like 5 watching fucking movies, and then I passed out.
What kind of movie setup do you have at your place?
It's complete dog shit.
TV?
No, I have my Chromebook. It's like tiny as shit. I watch Kong.
So you lie down?
Yeah.
And you throw it on your lap?
I do have the Mac. So I have the desktop Mac, which is like a 20-something inch. Yeah. Which I can watch stuff on. Like I watch Nomadland on it.
We gotta start doing like a movie night at my place with the projector.
We should do that, man. I would fucking be down.
This is actually really nice. Like, this is very nice when you have the full. Yeah. It's like almost like a movie. It's like the closest thing to a movie theater.
Yes, and I would like to watch a couple different types of movies, like movies that are coming out on this.
Yeah.
Like I would watch Combat or Kong.
Oh, Mortal Kombat.
You know, like you need to see some of those in the theater anyway.
I am pumped for Combat. Finish him.
Get over here.
I'm excited just for the good old fashioned fatalities.
Yeah, that movie's probably also going to be complete fucking dumpster fire.
What, Mortal Kombat?
Yeah.
The story. I think the fight scenes is what you watch it for. You don't watch it for like the Sonya Blade like side show, you know? I want to see how Sonya Blade develops as a person throughout this movie.
Yeah. How she's going to come out.
Raiden's going to fucking torch someone with electricity. Scorpion and Sub-Zero are going to be fighting the entire time.
Yeah. Do you know when Matrix 4 comes out?
December. They're
Oh, God.
No, here's why. For Matrix, you need to movie theater that
Jesus Christ. Well, of course. Hey, I went back, too. I got back to the theatres.
In New York?
Yep.
You got bed bugs?
No. The bed bugs. That's just there's no bed bugs. You get bed bugs here.
Well, you bring them from the movie theater.
No. I caught it. Kips.
Kips Bay.
Yeah, I went with Joy.
Which movie?
Nobody. With this Odenkirk piece.
Huh. Was it good?
John Wick. Guy who made the John Wick movies. Wow. It was eminently forgettable. I enjoyed it while I was watching it, but I will never watch it again. Do you know movies like that? Well, probably a decent amount, actually.
What was the...
So that I need to see Sound of Metal. I haven't seen
that either.
Nomadland, I saw. She was very good.
What did you think of Nomadland?
I thought it was good. I don't know that I thought it was great.
The thing is, I heard that it was like an Oscar-nominated movie before going into it, and I'm like, oh, this is going to be like an amazing movie. And then I watched, and I was like, eh.
That's how I felt about Minari, too, a little bit. Have you seen Minari?
No, I haven't watched Minari.
I was like, this is good. But you know what this suffers from? This happens with Oscar movies. Sometimes it suffers from this critic thing, where like critics love it's like the darling, and it's like so artsy-fartsy, and like... and unremarkable and slow and so real to life that you sort of watch it and you go, I need, like, where is the entertainment value?
Right.
Like, yes, like if I was reading a book, like literature, that was done well. But it's like, I got corn in my fucking kisser.
It's like
I'm
the
sipping
comics.
a soda.
Yeah.
Hit me, like, you need to hit me with something. Get me something to grab my mitts on. Like a Whiplash, Birdman, The Revenant.
Whiplash.
They have more Moonlight. Like Minari, Nomadland. Like they not Moonlight. They're just not there. I don't think they were at that level. I think they were solid.
Yeah.
But I think they were a little vanilles. I would say a little vanilles. But what do I? I'm also watching these on my fucking Chromebook.
Yeah.
I'm so sick of people. The theater is where you fucking watch these things. So, you know, what do I gotta retest a couple of them probably. You know, we gotta do a retest.
How much they charging at the theater?
I'm Stubbs.
20.
I'm a member.
Right.
So I
you
paid
stuck with them.
Yeah, dude. I pay $22 a month for unlimited flicks, bro, at the theaters, or up to 3 a week.
What about reserved seating?
You can reserve your seat. It's the great. I got a T-shirt on it with on stage. This is so good. This deal. Yeah, it's the best deal in any industry in any country. It is.
It's only a good deal if you go to more than one movie a month.
No, you can make it back in a movie. The movie, yeah, basically a movie ticket with popcorn. Maybe
is the popcorn free?
It's discounted. No, you're right. You would have to see more. You would have to see
more than one movie a month.
But it depends on what movie. Because if you go see an IMAX Tenet, you might as well get AMC for the month, Stubbs, because it's cheaper than that ticket. Depends on the ticket.
Can you get IMAX?
You can get.
Is it any movie?
Any movie, any AMC, anytime. It does not matter. Real HD, real 3D, 4D, any theater, any movie, anytime.
Any place in the country?
Yes. They don't do movie. That's where Movie Pass went off the rails. They don't. It just lists it. You can pick any movie. Done. 3 a week. Up to, and then
at the fourth, they're like, you have to pay full price.
I've done that because I went so ham at one point. I think, I may have made them lose money at one point. The extra movie in a week, $5 if you go over your third. Come on, bro.
Who's going to more than 3? Come
on, bro. If you're in the theater, if you're in New York City, yes, here's why.
How much do they discount the popcorn? 50%?
No. It just they don't discount the drinks a lot. You'll pay unless you start, because I build points. So like I'll go in there and they'll be like, this is free. Like because I have a lot of points. You know what I mean? But in the NYC, dude, here's why. You have 10 theaters in New York City. Okay? You have Magic Johnson, Lincoln Center, AMC, Kips Bay, 19th Street, downtown.
It's not really about that.
Yeah, you have multiple... Dude, you have like literally 30 movies at your disposal. Where this doesn't make a lot of sense is if you live in the burbs and you have one AMC, and it's a 15, 20-minute drive, right? You may only want to see one movie in that theater in a given month. You may want to see none of the movies in a given month. So then it's like you may literally not, you may run out because you have 4 movies you can see. But
I see what you're saying. So these AMCs in New York, because there's so many movie theaters, they don't feel the pressure to play only the hits. Sometimes they'll throw an old movie up.
Dude, they were playing fucking Apocalypse Now. They were playing fucking Back to the Future. I can show you Times Square right now. They're mostly playing old movies.
Wow.
Yeah, it's an absolute game changer, bro.
Or you could come to the Miller Theater just for free.
Right. Do a Miller Theater. All right, good stuff. I think we're there.
Are we done?
Yeah.
Woo!
All right, peeps. What else do you want, you know?
Yeah. I mean, what else are you getting on Tuesdays with stories? Nothing.
Yeah. Saturdays with Miller.
Boom.